guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And I can't believe we're doing 2 Doctor Who videos 2 days in a row.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it in how long?
Yeah, I mean, we used to do Doctor Who videos like once a week, and just honestly, the interest completely dropped off a cliff. As the interest in the show declined, we found that most people didn't care if we talked about Doctor Who.
Nor
at
do
all.
we care, so.
We don't. What I am cautiously optimistic about is Russell T Davies coming back. And again, I've learned you can never go home again. I've learned current year that even if somebody comes back, showrunner, actor, whatever, a lot of times it's a Pet Cemetery version. They're not quite the same. And I don't expect Doctor Who to ever return to what it was when it was Davies and David Tennant. But what was really interesting is that apparently a condition of Russell T Davies coming back was that he had complete control over Doctor Who. Now the BBC's already in damage control mode. They're already
shocker.
They're already like, well, yeah, but we've got this great partnership. But he basically said, yes, I will come back and I will fix your show.
You stay the hell out of it.
But you stay the hell out of it. So that's pretty interesting. That also shows me how desperate the BBC is to fix the show.
Because we already know how controlling they are.
Yes. Not that it will get better, but we're going to talk about this. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 239,000 subs. Thank you for the support. We do talk about Doctor Who, not nearly as much as we have in the past.
Nope.
Used to be one of our favorite shows. It was my favorite show. I made sure even when you checked out, I still watched it. Suffered through some of the Peter Capaldi episodes, but I was willing to give Jodie Whittaker a chance. Didn't work out very well, and it's not her necessarily. I mean, she's not a good. I don't think she's a very good doctor, but the storylines have been incredibly preachy.
I think so much of the Doctor that works is what they have to work with.
Yeah,
like what they're given to work with. Like if they have shitty stories, I don't care how good the actors are. The doctors are gonna not be popular, be considered shitty doctors, and that's just what it is.
Yeah. So I saw this last night after we recorded a video on the ratings. And the ratings for season 13, episode 1, which premiered on Halloween, were terrible.
Yep.
They were abysmal.
Nuh-uh. Hey, remember when you used to put the ratings in, how it would drop, and then these dipshits would make these whole videos arguing with you that you were wrong, and then it turned out that we were right?
That happens a lot. Not that we're always right, but
we're not.
I think it's funny. We'll cite mainstream sources or whatever.
Somehow it's all our fault. We made it up,
and we're the ones who just pull the numbers out of our ass. In this case, the ratings are not good. Everybody was talking about it. What was really interesting though is. Now, I haven't seen the episode because I forgot it was even happening.
I just didn't care.
Normally,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you've been checked out for years. We used to watch Doctor Who every week live with the kids. Loved it. It was must-see TV. And you checked out during Capaldi's era. I suffered through it. Some episodes were... I love Capaldi's Doctor. I love Capaldi's Doctor. But again, he didn't have a whole lot to work with.
What you have to work with really makes it or breaks it.
Yeah, actually, one of the best episodes... was one where he was by himself, trying to figure out what was going on. It was just Peter Capaldi the entire episode. I'm like, hey, that actually worked. Get rid of some of the annoying companions, and yeah. Anyway, Matt McGloin from Cosmic Book News, who's been very critical of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, actually said he liked the episode.
That's good.
So that's actually not a bad sign, because if you can kind of turn so lots of monsters and stuff. A lot of people said it was confusing. Anyway, most people, it doesn't matter what kind of damage control you do at this point. If people have already tuned out, they've already tuned out. And it's going to be very hard to get people to come back.
Yeah, McMee, I'm not coming back. Sorry.
Even with Russell T Davies.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It would depend. I'll have to see. Never say never.
Anyway, this was yesterday, and then the BBC responded to this. But yeah, apparently a condition of him coming back was, I'm in charge. End of discussion. So the announcement about Davies returning to run Doctor Who has been known for a little over a month now. This is coming from winteriscoming.net by Mia Johnson. And thanks to a report from The Times, we now know what else his return means for the series. According to their sources, Davies made his return next year contingent on the transfer of control to Bad Wolf, a production firm based in Wales. This means that the BBC, which has been behind the production of the series previously, will now essentially have to hand over control to Davies and his team. They'll be missing out on a lot of the money for season 14 and onward because of this. The Times estimates that could be about £40 million in commercial revenue per 10 episodes. So, yeah, Bad Wolf, of course, referencing his era.
Yeah.
Bad Wolf. But it wasn't formed until 2015. But so he's like, I am in charge. That's it. I am in charge now. Now, the BBC responded to this, and they said they're pushing back on the reports that they gave up creative control.
Well, if they didn't, they need to.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's almost like they're outsourcing it. Like, yeah, we suck at Doctor Who. Let's outsource it to Russell T Davies.
Let's get this straight. So people were like, yay, they're giving it to him and he's getting creative control and I might give it a chance again. And the BBC thought the best course of action was to refute that?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay.
So this is coming from Digital Spy. The deal to bring Davies and his production partners at Bad Wolf back to the fold. Doctor Who is now the subject of financial and creative interest for the BBC. Times published a report. According to the report, Bad Wolf would take creative direction of the show, take it over, while the BBC would move into selling the series overseas. A spokesperson for the BBC has since responded by clarifying the BBC will continue having commercial oversight.
Commercial oversight isn't the same thing as creative oversight.
No, it's not. Commercial oversight as a way to further establish Doctor Who as a global brand. This is interesting. We're incredibly excited about the future of Doctor Who, they said. BBC Studios is ultimately responsible for delivering the show, and this production partnership is about long-term investment that will radically build on the already huge success of the show and franchise worldwide.
Well, you got to bring the success back to build on it.
They did not say it wasn't true.
No, they talked around it.
So what this tells me is they're like, yes, we suck at Doctor Who.
Right, but they said in the original report that BBC was going to focus on the long term and overseas is what they said. And their statement says just that. Exactly. It says the exact same damn thing.
They're not pushing back. Basically, Russell T Davies has been handed the keys to the TARDIS. He's allowed to do whatever he wants to do, probably within reason. They probably have certain guidelines, but it's his show. He gets to run it the way he wants to run it. And the BBC's job is to basically sell it, sell advertising, sell merchandise, sell it overseas. But they cannot interfere in his
vision or whatever.
Vision.
Interesting, but they didn't deny it. What they did was they talked in a circle around it, but said basically what they said was going on.
That's really interesting. So for him to come in, if he was like, look, a lot of people are like, yeah, he's on board with this massive FU retcon that they did to the Doctor and all of that. If he really was on board with that, if he really thought Doctor Who was going in a great direction, why would he come back and say, I have to be 100% in charge of the show or I'm not coming back?
To the other point, why would the BBC agree to give up creative control or whatever to him to bring it back to what it was if it was completely doing great and it wasn't having any problems and people were all, on board with the retcons and everything else they did?
Yeah, because even look at the tie-in merch for Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. They're always pairing her up with the 10th Doctor, who's the most popular modern Doctor by far. And they keep going back to, even now, this season, they're going to have, the Weeping Angels and a lot of that, the Davies era. It's
almost like when we started with her and your mandate that you shouldn't have the traditional villains in there and the bad guys should be basically men and humanity and whole, didn't work. And Squeaking likes to point out that no matter how you look at it, the Doctor is always responsible for Rosa Parks.
Oh, yeah, that was a big...
They're the ones that put her in the back of the bus.
Yeah, that was a big...
That amuses him so much. You have no idea. He's just like, what the hell? So...
Anyway, very interesting. I don't want to get excited because I have a feeling that you can't go home again. The world is a very different place than it was when Davies relaunched the show, but... the fact that he's coming in, could you see this with George Lucas? Yeah, I'll come back to Lucasfilm, but all these little bitches at Lucasfilm, they have to shut up and let me do whatever I want.
Well, that was a rumor.
Yeah.
That they were trying to get him back and give him, but he didn't want to just be a consultant,
or something, yeah.
Right. he wanted actual to be in there, and there was rumors about that. Who knows if they're true or not? But this sounds like with BBC's statement that it pretty much confirmed what they were saying.
Yeah, so he gets carte blanche to do whatever he wants. Whether or not it's going to be any good remains to be seen. I am cautiously optimistic. Given that he was in charge when I fell in love with the new Doctor Who. But you know, that was
before it was Boo Hoo.
New Who before it was Boo Hoo, but that was many years ago. Things changed. He's changed.
Let's hope
Who knows?
it's good. It's not like New Coke or something.
Oh God, it can't. I would say it can't get any worse. But every time we say it gets worse.
Stop talking.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.